What is a TFSA and why should you care about it? Ladies, this one is for you. I know so many women that don't know what their TFSA is or how to properly use it, so we're going to change that right now. A TFSA is a tax-free savings account. You can put money into this account and allow it to grow tax-free. What I'm going to do is provide examples along the way so that I can paint a picture and allow you to see the true benefit of this account. How much money can you add into your TFSA? So this is dependent on a few different factors, but once you turn 18 and you're a resident of Canada, the contribution room of your TFSA grows yearly. Or if you're an immigrant and you're 18, the day that you start to reside in Canada is when your contribution room begins. So for the year 2025, the contribution room is $7,000, but this amount changes every year. So if you haven't already put money into your TFSA for the year 2025, that room is still there. And then for 2024, it was $7,000, 2023, $6,500, and so forth. We'll go more in depth later on, but this is basically the basics of your TFSA. Let's see this in action. So we're going to use Cassie as an example. Currently, she has a contribution room of $10,000. $7,000 of that comes from this year, 2025, and the other $3,000 comes from 2024 when she didn't use it. So she's looking under her TFSA and she sees a GIC that's being offered for 6% for a period of 270 days. She decides to move forward with this investment, and by doing that, she maxes out her contribution room for 2025. After 270 days, she earns a total of $443.84. So with her principal investment, which is the initial investment plus the interest, she has a total of $10,443.84. Let's take a look at an example if Cassie didn't make this investment in her TFSA. So if Cassie was making on average about $85,000 per year, she would be taxed 20.5%. So if she made the same investment outside of her TFSA, instead of making the $443.84, she would have made $352.85. $91 of that would have been removed due to tax. Let's quickly recap. So with an initial investment of $10,000 and a period of 270 days, using her TFSA, she was able to make about $10,450. And then without her TFSA, she makes $10,350, about $100 difference. This might look small initially, but as the amount grows and over time, this makes a difference. So you should always be maxing out your TFSA. So you might be wondering, what happens when she needs to, or when you need to withdraw money from your TFSA? So Cassie would be able to withdraw that money from her TFSA at any time, and that money would be tax-free. So at any point, you can withdraw money from your TFSA and it would be tax-free. The only thing she has to keep in mind is she wouldn't be able to withdraw until after the 270-day period. So if you agree to an investment such as this, you would have to keep that investment there for 270 days or 1 year or 3 months, whatever you agree to, if you want to get that interest. The only other caveat that she has to keep in mind is that once the money has been withdrawn, she won't be able to recontribute it until 2026. So let's say the investment period ends in 2025 and she decides that she needs to pull out $5,000. She can go ahead and pull out that $5,000, but she won't be able to recontribute $5,000 again until 2026. Let's fast forward a little. In 2026, the contribution room might be $7,500. So if Cassie wanted, she could max out that $7,500 and also max out the $5,000 that she removed from 2025. So now she has a contribution room of $12,500 in 2026. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's delve deeper into your contribution room overall. So your contribution room is unique to you. The TFSA started in 2009. So if you turned 18 in 2009, you have the maximum contribution room. However, if you're an immigrant, the year you began to reside in Canada is when your contribution room begins. For my ladies in the US, the TFSA is very similar to your 401k. The numbers differ for sure. However, the methodology is very similar. If you'd like me to create a video similar to this, I'd be happy to, but just let me know you're interested. Let's look at some examples. So if you moved to Canada in 2020, then your contribution room is $38,500. That's if you haven't already used your TFSA. But if you were born in Canada and turned 18 in 2009, then you have a maximum contribution of $102,000. So these are the contribution numbers since the TFSA began in 2009. So from 2009 to 2012, for example, you could contribute a total of $5,000 each year, meaning 2009, $5,000, 2010, another $5,000, 2011, so forth, 2012, another $5,000. In 2015, if you take a look, the contribution room jumped to $10,000. I think it's just because the program began, but I mean, let me not really say too much about that. 2023 was $6,500, and then 2024 and 2025 is $7,000. I really won't go too much more in depth than that. Hopefully you guys understand that. If you're looking for more information on your own specific contribution room, you can find that in your CRA account, or you can use the information we just went over in this chart to calculate how much room it is that you have. And then the last thing that you can do is call the tax information phone service line. I provided the number based off of the research that I've done. They should be able to let you know how much contribution room you currently have. We've covered a lot, I know. And honestly, I could keep going, but I'm gonna stop here because the goal right now is to allow you to see the benefit of your TFSA. What I can do in the future is make more examples so that you can use them as reference whenever you're thinking about your TFSA. If you've made it this far, do me a favor and leave bubbles in the comment section just so that I know that you're taking this seriously. And if you'd like for me to come up with a game plan for you, let me know. And in the meantime, stay tuned for more financial information for women all over the globe. My goal is to help us pave a path towards financial freedom.